Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in this thing, baby, representing TKOG. Today I'm going to be showing you guys, for one of my recent projects, and we're going to talk about my favorite thing ever to do in this card game, which is creating custom cards and decks. Before I discovered Dueling Book, I actually have a notebook. Probably I will do a separate video and show you guys this notebook I have in real life where every page is full of these archetypes that I used to create when I was a little kid up until adulthood. And all throughout, actually, they're all throughout my adulthood. I think I don't have the ones from when I was a little kid. But I used to create custom cards, and I don't know why it was so fun, so entertaining, and I enjoyed it so much. I always tried to keep them balanced and realistic. So my thought was maybe one day I would inspire Konami or somebody that worked there to like create my deck. What I have here, my most recent project, is called Pastures. So essentially, the theme of this deck is to be farm animals that are most of them are babies, and me and my fiance came up with the concept, and it's based and inspired by her. Um, Her nickname is Mickey Moo. I love her. That's my baby, and we decided to make Mickey Moo the queen of the deck, which is really cool. We'll talk about the thematics. We'll talk about the gimmick of the deck and essentially what it's trying to accomplish. But what we essentially have done here is we have built a deck centered around one specific monster, very similar to Galaxy Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician, where while the monster is present in some way, shape, and form, your card effects do benefit from it, but the deck is able to function without it. And the deck is centered around Pastures Queen Mickey Moo. The art type itself is called Pastures. It's literally such a cool deck. I'll have to go into, before I show you guys the deck, we'll go here. If you guys actually end up liking this content, I can show you guys so much more cool stuff. I actually am researching how to create proxies because what I want to do is like take the proxies I've made and make them into real cards and just play with them against friends, just for funsies. And hopefully one day I get to inspire Konami to like actually take one of my concepts. I really wish I could work for them, honestly. I feel like I would do such justice for the game. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite things to do, you guys. So essentially the way the deck works is there's level 2 Earth Beast types, and then there's level 4s. There are 2 Wing Beasts, and then we have 1 fish, and we have 1 reptile. And so what I wanted was for the Wing Beasts to basically support the herd and be as extenders that also work defensively to protect your cards. And what I wanted was for the little level 2 Earth Beasts to be recruiters. So they're cards that naturally are +1s, replace themselves, filter bodies onto the field, while the Wing Beasts, being the birds, protect the herd. We have one unique guy. We're actually gonna get started. You know what? Let's just start with the base card. Let's start with the very first card. I feel like there's a lot of moving pieces, and I don't want to talk about everything and just go in circles. Let's be organized about it. So we'll start here. Pastures Queen Mickey Moo. So she has 2,900 attack and 600 defense. The reason why these stats are the way they are is because my fiance wanted the stats to mimic my birthday. My birthday is June the 29th, so 0629. Pretty cool. It was just a labor of love. I did this deck to create it for her, but then I started testing it, and I was like, this deck's kind of crazy. I think it needs a little bit of reworking and a little bit of patching up and balancing, just to kind of tone down the cards. It needs a couple nerfs, I think, but when I compared it to like Snake Eyes, and when I compared it to Fire King Snake Eyes, when I compared it to Labyrinth, when I compared it to just like all the decks that are prevalent, I was like, I don't feel so bad for some of these cards being good. So Pastures Queen Mickey Moo is the queen of the deck. We found this art all on cartoon images of Google. So this is so funny. Like, she looks like the Queen of England. So her effect is as followed. If this card is summoned, you can special summon 1 Pastures monster from your hand, deck, or grave. She has no way to get herself out, but the deck works. As long as the deck's able to play, you can get her out. The other effect that she has, which is pretty busted, the way me and Michaela's my fiance, the way we designed this card, is your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when this card battles until the end of the damage step. If this card battles a monster, negate that monster's effects. At the start of the damage step, this battling card gains the attack of the monster it battles. So if it attacks, your opponent can't activate anything. The monster that it attacks has its effects negated permanently. Very similar to well, not permanently, just while it's battling. It's very no. I'm sorry. It is permanent. It is permanent. I forgot. I'm trying to remember the way we designed this card. Yeah, we designed it to mimic Cashteer Scareclaw. That's the card I was thinking about. So yeah, it permanently negates the effects of the monster that it battles. It's like Catastor. Your opponent cannot activate or Armades. Your opponent cannot activate anything when it swings. And any monster that it battles, it gains the attack of that monster until the end of that battle. You can only activate each of Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo's effects once per turn. So she protects herself in the battle phase really well. Outside of the battle phase, she doesn't really do much. He is an extender, but the whole entire deck is themed around her. All of your cards have effects, but they gain unique bonus effects if Mickey Moo's in place. So let's get into the sauce. We're going to start off with our first recruiter. This is Pasture's Baby Moo. We always talked about it. The first child that we would have together, we would call it our Baby Moo because, you know, it's Mickey Moo's baby. And Baby Moo's pretty simple. So if this card's summoned, you can add one Pasture's monster from your deck to your hand. If you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, when you activate this effect, you can also special summon one Pasture's monster from your hand. You can only activate the effect of Baby Moo once per turn. So on summon, it's just a monster Stratos. If Mickey Moo's on the field, you can essentially summon from the deck instead if you wanted to. But you could summon any monster from your hand. Next up, we're going to go to Pasture's Bad Billy. So if this card's summoned, you can add one Pasture's Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. And if you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, when you activate this effect, you can set one Pasture's Spell or Trap from your graveyard instead. So if you have Mickey Moo, you have the option to either search or just set a Spell or Trap from your graveyard. We did not give it the ability to do both because there'd be too many +1s in this deck. This deck already has a couple +1s. Well, actually 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it essentially is gonna more often than not, it's gonna be a Spell or Trap start, like a Spell or Trap recruiter. So like it is used as a starter, but like when Mickey Moo's up, it can be a recovery card as well. You can only activate this effect once per turn. That's Billy. And I love these cards. So we just wanted to make it cute, and we also wanted to give them unique and funny and cool names. The last of the level 2 Earth Beasts is Pasture's Oink Boink Boy. This is him. Shout outs to my homie. If this card's added to your hand by the effect of Pasture's Baby Moo, you can special summon it. If this card is summoned, you can special summon one Pasture's monster from your grave. If you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, when you activate this effect, this card becomes Snake Eye Flamberg. You can summon 2 Pastures instead. So on summon, it's just a Wolf Bark. If it's added by Baby Moo, it's an extender. And if you have Mickey Moo on field, it can summon 2 instead of 1. So it gets pretty strong on the crackback if you have Mickey Moo up. But oftentimes on the crackback, Mickey Moo is already dead. Unless you set your board up right, because there are some ways that you could protect her outside of battle phase where she's the most vulnerable. So those are our recruiters. Next, we're going to talk about the birds. I think I'm going to go to Quack Quack because he's one of the cutest ones for me. I love Quack Quack. So Pasture's Quack Quack Talk Smack Zack. I named all of these cards myself. So quick effect. You can target one Pasture's monster you control. Special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, the first time that monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, this turn it will not. So it essentially is Runic Slumber. The first time that monster died by battle or card effects, it's not. It's a quick effect to summon itself for free, but you have to target a monster for cost, special summon this card, and if you do, that monster's protected once. That's how you can protect Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo outside of the battle phase. If you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, when you activate this effect, this is the theme of the deck. Everything gets better when Mickey Moo's up, because it is her pasture, it's her farm, it's her herd. If you control Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can also target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So if you activate Quack Quack Zack during either player's turn, you could protect your Mickey Moo from destruction, for example. While she's up, obviously, if you're protecting her, she's going to be on the field. If you activate this on your opponent's turn or on your turn while Mickey Moo's up, Quack Quack Zack will protect one of your monsters from destruction once and pop one of your opponent's monsters. So he's one of the most vital cards in the deck because this deck doesn't put up a lot of interruptions, but it does have a good value engine, and as long as you can pick up the right cards, it has a lot of low committal combos that are safe in the hand traps and are resilient enough to kind of bridge into a sticky enough board, I would say. Like, it's sticky enough. Like, it's harder to break than it looks like, but it's not the craziest, most oppressive board you can make. It has a lot of follow-up. It does have a similar thematic with Fire King Snake Eyes and Snake Eyes in general, where, like, one card can get you all the way back into the game, and once your graveyard's set up, you're pretty good to go. So Quack Quack talks to Max Zack. The next up bird is Pastures Buck Buck Buck. So this guy is my favorite extender probably in the entire deck. Quack Quack Zack just looks the coolest. If you control a Pastures monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you can return one monster you control to the hand. If you can, so this is cool when you're playing teching in Nib in your deck, because it's very similar to Heretic Seal. Like you could actually summon Bakak on your opponent's turn, and you can bounce the Nib back to your hand and nib your opponent again. Baby, I'm in the middle of doing the Pastures video right now. Can I call you back? Okay, I love you. My bad, that was fiance. My fiance. I told her I was gonna do this too while she was at work. Alright, so anyways, quick effect. If you control a Pastures monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do return one monster, you can return one monster you control to the hand. Outside of bouncing Nib and cool interactions like that, this does dodge targeting effects. So if you normal summon one of your recruiters, like Baby Moo or even Bad Billy, and your opponent activates Imperm or Veiler, you can chain Bok Bok from hand, dodge the targeting effect, and get an extender out for free. This card gets even better when you have Mickey Moo up. When you activate this effect, you can also return one monster your opponent controls to the hand. So if you have Mickey Moo up and you're playing into a board, or your opponent's playing into yours, you can use this just to literally disrupt their plays. And what's also cool is if you had there's a link too that we're gonna talk about later. But if you got your Pastures Quack Quack Zack back off of your Link 2 or one of your other low committal plays, because like the theme with this deck is also like just again, like I know I said when you pick up the right cards, like you can play like, and the whole thing is just everything about this deck is low committal, so it's safe into hand traps even if you get disrupted, because you have synergistic 2-card interactions that typically require 2 hand traps to stop. But the bodies allow you to convert into cards like SP, into the Link 2. There's just like a really, really big threshold for how this deck goes from very mid-range to like a combo deck with the certain hand combinations, and depending on like how far you want to go, because like you're still going to play this like a real deck, so you're going to respect hand traps regardless. But a lot of the low committal plays are really strong because like you get in on halfway boards that are not the fully established board, and like eat 1 or 2 hand traps and feel very comfortable with your opponent throwing 4 cards at you while you have all the resources that this deck gives you, because it is a resource-based deck. So Bok Bok essentially is a non-targeting compulse with Mickey Moo up, but its added bonus is it dodges targeting effects like forever, because there's a way that you can bounce this back to hand, and this can bounce Quack Quack. So if you Bok Bok, summon, bounce Quack Quack, bounce one of your opponent's monsters, and bounce Quack Quack too. Because remember, this bounces one of your monsters, and if Mickey moves up, it bounces one of your opponent's monsters. So it's kind of crazy. This is probably the most broken card in the deck as far as interactions go on your opponent's turn. I would say this is like the craziest card in the main deck for me. It's my favorite card. Like the way this card's designed, I wish every deck had something like this. It's just crazy. But yeah, you could bounce Quack Quack, get a bounce on your opponent's field, and then you could summon Quack Quack, pop one of their monsters, and protect your Mickey Moo. And these also, because they're level 4s and Wind Wing Beasts, there's other things you can do, bridging outside of the archetype. The final level 4 and the final main deck monster we're going to talk about is Pastures Koi Koi Leroy the Boy. This is my guy. So if this card's summoned, you can make one Pastures monster you control gain 500 attack and defense for each Pastures monster you currently control until the end of this turn. Also, Pastures Queen Mickey Moo can attack monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Pastures monsters you controlled when you resolve this effect other than her. So if you control 3 and she's one of them, she gets 2 attacks. She never gains an additional attack for herself. Mickey Moo will gain additional attacks off this effect based on the other pastures she has. So if she has her whole farm out, she can get up to 5 attacks. And she's also going to gain upwards between 2,000 to 3,000 additional attack. And that's huge because she always attacks for true damage. Because she gains the attack of whatever monster she battles, she always attacks for true damage. So if you can put her up to, like if you're using Dugaris and other cool tech cards, if you can put Mickey Moo at 8,000 and she swings, that's 8,000. That's game. So she is like cool how she honors herself. And the way she works, because she's very similar to Honest, she affects herself and not the monsters, so she does out-towers monsters as well, which is cool. And her effect, like when she battles to negate that monster's effect, it is an activated effect. The way we worded it, it should be. And if it's not an activated effect, we will reword it because we don't want her. We want to keep her as balanced as possible and not make her like too overpowered. So essentially, on summon, this gives one of your Pastor's monsters 500 attack and defense for each one you currently control. Then your Pastor's Queen Mickey Moo gains additional attacks based on the different name based on the other Pastor's monsters you have besides her. And if you controlled Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can chain one monster your opponent controls to face up attack position or face down defense position. So like it can be a Book of Moon or it can be a one shot. Like if one of your opponent's monsters is in defense and it has high enough attack, you know, whatever you want to do, you can do. So it works offensively and defensively. Like you can summon on your opponent's turn, so you can get the Book of Moon as another disruption. So like your 3 level 4s in your main deck can be used as disruptions because your extra deck, once you get there, the extra deck monsters only really truly give you 1 interruption and 1 floodgate monster. So a lot of the work that this deck does, a lot of its heavy lifting comes from the main deck monsters. And that's another reason why like it's cool to have low committal like starters and playmakers, because like it is safe to leave your cards and not convert them into other like resources if you don't need to. So let's talk about our first spell. This name is crazy. So this card's called Pastures Nurturing Herd for Nurture, no herding to burden nurture. wait, all right. Let me say it fast. Pastures Nurturing Herd for Nature, no herding to burden nature. I named this card. That's the whole point of the deck. It's supposed to have really cool, funny names. So it's a normal spell. It's a Rhoda. Add 1 Pastures monster from your deck to your hand. If you control Pastures Queen Mickey Moo and you activate this effect, you can also add 1 Pastures monster from your graveyard to your hand. And if you do, place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. If Pastures Queen Mickey Moo would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of Pastures Nurturing Herd for Nature, no herding to burden nature, once per turn. I got the hiccups. Alright. Yeah, we'll go here. They do have their own pseudo Digustor Emerald S card, which, because again, it is a resource-based deck, so it made sense for us to give it this. And I really want you guys' feedback too. Let me know in the comments like how things can be reworked. Like I'm not necessarily looking for new creations for the Pastures deck. I am looking for ideas to tune things down if they seem overtuned. But when I compare it to meta decks, you know, it definitely is a solid tier 2 deck if it was real. Pastures Blooming Beginnings it's Pastures Blooming Beginnings for Crops to Harvest. Let me say that faster. Pastures Blooming Beginnings for Crops to Harvest. Once per turn, you can target 3 Pastures cards in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck, then draw 1. If you control Mickey Moo, I need to put Pastures Queen Mickey Moo, so I need to fix that. Yeah. If you control, let me see. That's a design error. That's the design flaw. That's a typo. There we go. Pastures Queen Mickey Moo. When you activate this effect, you can draw 1 additional card. So it's shuffle 3, draw 2 with Mickey Moo. Shuffle 3, draw 1 when she's not there. And if you draw an additional card, you place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So this can be a +1, but it's not really a +1. It's just a filter. The same with the normal Rhoda. It can be a +1, but it's not really a +1. It's actually a -1 if you get the bonus effect to add from grave. So you activate it, it does replace itself, and you also get to grab an additional resource from grave if you choose to, because all of the bonus effects when Mickey moves up, all of those are optional. You don't have to activate the additional effects. But if you do, there's certain clauses where if you use the bonus effects with Mickey Moo up, there is another clause to the effect that you have to do part of the resolution. So if you use this to add 2 cards, you place 2 from your hand to the bottom of your deck, which turns it into a -1, but you essentially get to trade 2 cards out that you don't really want for 2 cards you actually need. Same with this. The next one is going to be this card. Whew, bro. These names. Pastures Watering Life, no Wasting Life. This is the card, out of all of the cards that I made for this deck, this is the one that I feel like needs a reworking a little bit. I'm going to grab my water because my mouth's getting really dry right now. Alright, we're going to read in a second. Alright, you guys ready? Whew! Alright, so activate one of these effects based on how many Pastures monsters you control. One or more, add one Pasture's monster from your deck to your hand with a different name than cards you control and have in your graveyard. So it gets worse and worse mid to late game. Two or more, special summon one Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo from your deck or graveyard. Three or more, if Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo battled this turn, destroy a card your opponent controls up to the number of times she battled. Four or more, if Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo is on the field, all monsters your opponent controls must attack her if able. You can only activate one Pasture's Watering Life, no wasting life per turn. So if you have no monsters, you can't activate it. If you have one, it's a Rhoda. If you have two, it is literally an extender that turns to two bodies, because Queen Mickey Moo, if she didn't use her effect that turn, she gets another body out. And you put your win con on the field. Essentially, your win con is Mickey Moo. Like, the way this deck works is like it is a resource-based deck, and as long as you can keep Mickey Moo, the Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo on field, the deck is able to overperform in a lot of areas. Like, it doesn't feel like a rogue deck anymore, but without Mickey Moo, it is a pretty much, you're playing Satellar Knights, is what it feels like. If you have three or more, if she battled this turn, you can destroy a card your opponent controls up to the number of times she's battled. The reason why this text is specific this way is because this deck has an ability to give Mickey Moo additional attack. So if she attacked 3 times, you can destroy 3 cards. If she attacked once, you can destroy 1 card. Keep in mind, this card's very safe with that bonus effect, because when she attacks a lot of times, your opponent can't respond anyways. And it's when you have 3 or more monsters, that's what keeps this bonus effect like from being so overtuned. Because if we had it in a lower committal area, like if you controlled 1 or 2 monsters, like if you control 2, all you have to do is just resolve Queen. But you have to control at least 3 monsters to use that effect. That's what made me feel like it was okay to give it that effect, but I feel like this effect could be tuned down entirely and changed to a lot more, like, more situational way to be able to pop cards. But I tested this deck and it hasn't really felt like so overtuned. A lot of times I use the first or the second effect. The fourth effect is pretty cool because you can use it whenever you're playing this defensively to actually force your opponent to kill themselves. Because on your opponent's turn, you actually have the potential to summon Koi Koi Leader of the Boar, and they're rank 4, and you're able to give Mickey Moo like insane amounts of attack and force your opponent's monsters to attack you. Also, what's cool is Leroy the Boy can change one of their monsters to attack position on their turn and force them to attack her. So like, this card's kind of goofy because it is kind of like, it feels like you're playing what's that deck called? Makonko, just in a way, like you can force your opponent to kill themselves, which is cool. So this is like the most flexible of all the spells. They only have 3 spells. I didn't give them a field spell that searches and gives an attack bonus and has some bonus ability to pop cards like all of the planets. Those field spells are broken. And I felt like if Planet can give my monsters attack, search, and pop a card, I feel like it was okay giving this card what it has. But if you guys feel like it needs to be tuned down, I kind of agree. I'm just not sure which effect needs to be tuned down the most. The third one is kind of the one that I feel like is not as safe, but next, we have our main deck trap. So this is called Pastures, Urban Spice, and Everything Nice Cook Some Rice. Once per turn, if your opponent summons a monster, you can send 1 Pastures card from your hand or field to your graveyard, and if you do, that monster's effects are negated. If you control Pastures Queen Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can destroy that monster. So it's a more situational effect veiler / impermanence. So it's not going to be as strong playing into established boards. But where it does shine defensively is because with Mickey Moo up, it essentially becomes a negate and destroy. So it's like Ghost Ogre and Ghost Mourner built into 1 card, or Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre built into 1 card. So it's like not that strong going second into established boards. We could have easily just made it during the other player's turn, target a monster, negate it, but they kind of already have cards that do that, and this just felt like a cool defensive option that had utility the deck didn't really have, and had an effect that didn't feel redundant, like, compared to the other effects they already have. Let's go into the extra deck. Let's talk about their Link 2. This card's attack is 22 for a reason. Like, we have reasons for all the numbers, and they're, like, not to make them broken. We have, like, sentimental reasons for why everything is the way it is. So this is Pastures Hee Hee Ha Ha Dorky Horsey. It requires 2 Pastures effect monsters. If this card's Link Summon, you can add 1 Pastures Baby Moo. So, you know how there's cards, like, where their text specify Pastures Queen Mickey Moo? Because Baby Moo would be me and my fiance's first kid together, we gave bonus effects in this deck that also specifically center around Baby Moo, who's like the princess. If Mickey Moo's the queen, Baby Moo's the princess. But if it's Link Summon, you can add one Pasture's Queen, Baby Moo from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Very similar to Protector of the Agent's Moon, the way it works with the agent. I forgot what the other agent that it searches. And if you do, you gain an additional normal summon / set this turn. So if this effect resolves to like recruit a Baby Moo, you get to normal summon again. Quick effect: while you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, target one Pasture's monster, return it to the hand. Then you can special summon a Pasture's monster from your hand. Very similar to Bok Bok. This can help you to dodge targeting effects playing into boards. If you summon it while Mickey Moo's up, it's a lot safer, the disruption. Something else that's cool is like returning it to the hand, then you can summon one from your hand is not a and if you do. So the way card text words does matter. Like the way card texts are worded does matter. Like so essentially you could still use this effect to bounce it. I'm not sure if it would still be able to summon from hand, but I know this card can chain its own effect to itself to dodge targeting effects if you just wanted to minimum resolve it to add Baby Moo and get an additional normal. But this is a huge part of your inboards. This is a huge piece that's integral on your opponent's turn because the two baby birds that you summon on your opponent's turn, the bounce and the pop, these guys like you get used as extenders and then you summon them back to your field and bounce them back to your hand. And essentially the way it works is like you summon one, search the other, and the one that you searched is going to be Bok Bok, and you use Bok Bok to bounce Quack Quack back, and you have another disruption. If you already had Quack Quack, a lot of the times you go Mickey Moo to summon Baby Moo search Bok Bok, and you Bok Bok, bounce your Baby Moo for follow-up, so you have a guaranteed play next turn. So that's the Link 2. It's pretty cool. It's pretty decent. It's not like insane. It could have been like Electromite, but I feel like it's good enough for what it does. Being like a defensive card as a part of your inboard, like to diversify your interruptions, and essentially to give you a bonus disruption while also recruiting your Baby Moo and letting you summon again. Next up, we have the Link 3, Pasture's Diggy Diggity Dug the Dog. The Link 3, he's like everything. Like the Link 3, this is like the Electromite of the deck. Like what it does is if this card's Link summoned, you can special summon one Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo from your hand or deck. If another Pasture monster effect is activated, you can destroy one spell or trap your card on your opponent's field. If you controlled Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can gain this additional effect again. Like you can activate this effect again during this turn. Otherwise, you can only activate the effect of Pasture's Diggy Diggity Dug the Dog once per turn. I need to reword that because essentially what that means is like if you have Mickey Moo, when he uses his effect to pop a back row, he can pop another one. Not he can summon her again if you summon a new copy of him. So I just need to reword it to be more specific, that's all. But essentially, it is like the Electromite of the deck. Like, it gets out the main win condition. You have to climb a little bit to get to this. But it's pretty solid. Like, once it resolves, all it needs to do is just get Mickey Moo up. Because the combo line for this deck, I'll show you guys later. Let's see how we are in time. Cool. Okay. All right, we're getting there, bro. I'm sorry it's taking so long. But I'm explaining like an entire archetype and then doing like a deck profile and then showing you guys combos. Okay. Pasture's Farm Boy, Farm Man, Charming. Oh, wait, dude. All right. Let me try again. This is a Link 4. This is me. So, I can't have my queen in my deck without me. I didn't want to give myself my name, though. So, I named my character Pasture's Farm Boy, Farm Man, Charming Farming Farmer. All right, I did it. Let's go. He requires 2 or more effect monsters, including a Pasture's monster. 29 attack. While you control Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo, while you have a Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo on your field, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects as Chainlink 3 or higher in response to your Pasture's card effect activations. If this card was Link summoned using Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo as a material, he gains her effects. When this card leaves the field by your opponent's card, you can special summon one Pasture's Queen Mickey Moo from your hand or deck and or graveyard. You can only use each of these effects of Pasture's Farm Boy, Farm Man, Charming Farming Farmer once per turn. This is the only floodgate that the deck has, but it is the floodgate of the deck. It's the go-to floodgate. Like, this is a card you want to leave on your inboards. Like, going first, it's not that crazy because, like, again, when you're playing, your opponent's playing into your board, not all the time are they going to be responding to your cards. A lot of times you're going to be responding to their cards. But what's cool about this card is while it's up, it gives your resources this kind of hidden value, which is like almost like a looming threat. Because every time you activate a Pastor's card in response to your opponent's card, it essentially, this card turns them into Magical Meltdown, Branded Loss. Your opponent can't respond to your responses. So if I have my established board and I have Farming Farmer up, and I activate Bok Bok to bounce one of their cards, they can't chain anything in response to Bok Bok. You know what else is cool? What makes this card kind of broken, in a way, is because the birds are quick effects, if you chain them to your opponent's cards, you end chain links immediately, so you prevent your opponent from stacking any more cards before the resolution occurs. This also is really strong if it survives, or you find a way to start your turn with it, because what it means is, like, if you commit to a play and your opponent responds to it, you can respond again and they can't respond. So, like, when you're going first, your opponent can only respond once. When your opponent's playing into your board, when they go second, they don't get to respond at all. They get their first action, you respond, and they can't respond anymore. So this card is really crazy because, like, the way you have to pick apart the Pastor's board, you have to do it systematically. You have to clear the link 4 first, and then you have to find a way to deal with Mickey Moo. And, like, when this guy leaves, Mickey Moo comes out, which is really cool. The other thing that we need to figure out how to work the text is, like, because you can only activate Mickey Moo's effect once per turn, we need to figure out, because I know there's cards that can gain the effects of another card and still use it. We just need to figure out how to word it so that the game state recognizes that this card can use Mickey Moo's effect. Again, even though you can only activate her effect once per turn, the way this card's designed is, like, it's supposed to be able to use Mickey Moo's effect again. So you get to use Mickey Moo twice in one turn instead of once because of the Link 4. I think it's a very uniquely designed card. I don't know of any cards like this in the game, like in the card pool right now. So I like that a lot. It fits me a lot. Like, if I was to be a card, I would love to be a card like this if I could make myself a card. I wouldn't make myself overpowered and, like, give myself 10 different effects and make myself Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic. I would make myself very similar to this. A card that's very unique in its design and is very difficult to interact with and limits and kind of is a restricting card in a way because it limits your opponent's ability to counterplay you. Not limiting their ability to play, just limiting their ability to counterplay you. So it is still fair because it allows them to play. It just is very restrictive on how they can counter your play. So those are the 3 links. I would say they're all pretty strong if you ask me. Next up, we have 2 XYZs. We have a rank 4 and a rank 2, and then I'll show you guys the profile. So we have Pastor's Trippy Turf Hermit Turtle. I got a sea turtle wax in for this art. This needs to change. Everything about this deck is supposed to be cute, though. So it requires 2 or more level 4 Pastor's effect monsters. If this card is XYZ summoned, you can target one Pastor's card in your grave. Place it on the top of your deck. If you control Pastor's Queen Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can add that target to your hand instead. So essentially, it's a warrior returning alive if you have her up. If not, you just like can recycle an extra deck card. You can recycle a resource. You can take one of your random cards, put it on top of your deck, and then draw off of your what's the card I'm thinking about? Draw off of your Blooming Beginnings for Crops to Harvest, because it places three cards on the bottom of your deck and then draws, which is cool. So, like, you can actually like use this, stack 1, and then use this, put 3 on the bottom, and then draw, which is pretty cool. Especially because you didn't do any searching, so you don't have to cut or anything. Really, really unique, really cool. That's not all he does, though. If that was all he did, he would be cheeks, bro. He has another effect that's not that crazy, but it's unique to the strategy. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach an XYZ material from this card. Change one Pastor's monster you control to defense, and if you do, you can have one Pastor's Queen Mickey Moo gain that monster's attack until the end of the turn. So the way the water guys work, the way the fish and the turtle work, is they support the one shot that Mickey Moo is supposed to do. She does true damage. So the way it works is like you're just going to do a true moo. You're going to get her up to over 8,000 or 8,000 minimum, and you're going to attack any monster in its game. And when she attacks, your opponent can't do anything. So if they want to react, it has to be outside of the battle phase. What's really cool is you can do this OTK in the battle phase because you can summon this during the battle phase, and this is a quick effect. So it's a really cool OTK. One can argue the same resources used to make this XYZ, this monster, and her. You can just make an access code talker anyway and go for game. But we wanted it to be a unique thing that's specifically for this archetype so that it doesn't really have like too much of a generic applicability. Like it has its own unique gimmicks and like essentially that's what you want this deck to do. So like I wouldn't play access code in this deck because like this is what I would want to do. This is what the deck is designed to do. Like you protect your Mickey Moo and you give her a bunch of attack and you go for game. Like that's the win condition of the deck. It's Moo. Like protect your Moo and kill with your Moo. That's what you do. The final XYZ we have is Pastors She Sleepy Sheepy. She sleepy, boy. If this card's XYZ summoned, you can add one Pastors card from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can detach one XYZ material from this card, target one Pastors card you control, and one card your opponent controls and destroy them both. If you control Pastors Queen Mickey Moo when you activate this effect, you can negate the effects of the second target and then destroy it. You can only activate each effect of She Sleepy Sheepy once per turn. So the way this card works is it is essentially like an Alamalacaris, like the Paleozoic Rank 2, except you pop your card and your opponent's card. It can target itself, which is kind of cool, so it can essentially dodge a targeting effect on summon if you can. Like if you need to, like you summon this guy, your opponent has an Imperm, it can chain to pop itself in the Imperm. What's also cool about it is like it's the only card that the deck has that actually can interact with spells and traps. Like this deck has no negates. It actually has literally no negates. If you notice, like it just has interaction. Like it has a bounce, a monster pop, a Book of Moon, and then like on a good day you end on this. Like well, a lot of your combo lines end on this. Like you have this to negate. So like you can essentially in archetype you can set up 5 interruptions max if you have the trap, which is like, I guess it's a monster negation. It's like a soft one. It's like an effect veiler. This is the only card that protects your boards from like evenly matched, lightning storm, triple tactics, talents, thrust, all that, you know. So it's a very important and integral card because like nothing else in this deck protects you from those kind of cards. So she's like ideal to end. Like she's ideal to end on no matter what. Like I tried, like I go out of my way to end on She Sleepy Sheepy all the time. And yeah, that's it, you guys. That's all of the cards. That's the entire deck. If you ask me what my favorite card is, like monster-wise for the extra deck, it really is the Farmer. Like he has a unique effect. I like him a lot. But like the card that I favor the most to end on is She Sleepy Sheepy because like I won't die to non-engine now. So now I'm gonna show you guys the deck. Here's the deck profile. So for starters, we have 3 Prosperities. We have 3 Watering Life, No Wasting Life. This is a starter as long as you control any other pasture monster, which you're playing 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 that you can normal summon. So you have a high chance of opening this plus another one. But if you don't control pasture, it's not a starter. But it gets better and better the more you control. You have your actual Rhoda, your tried and true. So you have 9 starters. Billy is a better starter than Baby Moo because your combo lines work by going to hee hee ha ha dorky horsey to grab Baby Moo. This deck does play in the draw kind of hard sometimes. So like essentially you have your main deck searchers and then like your XYZ can also net you a card. So what it feels like a lot of the times is like this deck gives me Raid Raptor vibes. Like it feels like I'm playing Raid Raptors and like Black Wings where like a lot of my cards just allow me to search and keep extending and keep playing, but like the board I end on is not crazy. Like Raid Raptors can search like every card it needs for its combo, and its inboard is just not that crazy. Sorry, I needed some water. And then let me check how we're doing. Okay. So essentially our starters are 3 Prosperity, 3 Watering Life, No Wasting Life. Alright, let me try to say this again. 3 Pastures, Nurturing Herd for Nature, No Hurting to Burden Nature. 3 Bad Billy. Wait, it's Bad Billy. Baby Moo. And that's it. You have about 15 1-card starters. Essentially 12, but like this. No, you have 9 1-card starters plus the 3 Prosperities. And then you have a 1.5 card starter. And then you have cool unique combos where just like any 2 Pastures monsters can get you there. Only if you haven't resolved Baby Moo. That's another weird gimmick about this deck is like any 2 Pastures monsters can get you combo into hee hee ha ha dorky horsey, but only if you haven't used Baby Moo to get there in the first place. So that's like a strength and a huge weakness as well. It's like your combo lines are weaker when you have to start with Baby Moo, but like she's still solid enough like for you to be able to do stuff with her by herself. We have three Bok Bok. So the extenders are three Bok Bok, three Quack Quack. Like you essentially have six extenders. Pair that with these ways to search them. You have higher chances of being able to like play through hand traps when you open Bok Bok. Like it dodges everything. It's really strong. We're only on 2 Moo. Me and my fiance talked about this. We did not want to play 3 Queen Mickey Moo. There's too many ways to get it out. This card does literally nothing in hand at all. It does nothing when you draw it. You have to summon it. We just needed 2 because like this deck has no way to get it back from the banish zone. And a lot of combo lines use 1 and summon another one. So you just need it. We have 1 Oink Oink Boy. Oink Boink Boy. I actually want to bump this to 2 because I was testing and it did come up where I did Bok Bok back my Baby Moo. And my Baby Moo couldn't do anything on the crackback at all because everything it searched wasn't good enough. Because like on the follow up, like Baby Moo into an extender, like to go to the link 2, doesn't do anything unless you have an additional body to go diggy diggity dug the dog. And so like this deck looks like it does a lot of stuff. Like it's a very glaring weakness that it has, like where the Link 3 has to resolve a lot of the times, the Link 2 has to resolve a lot of the times, and Mickey Moo has to get to the field. And if those cards don't resolve, you have to hard draw this or a way to get to it and put 2 bodies on field. So like the way the cards are designed, it looks like the deck's crazy, but like it has glaring weaknesses. It has a lot of flaws to its design on purpose. It's very balanced. And it does have low committal plays, but its inboards aren't even impressive at all. Still, like a lot of like tier 1 and tier 2 decks have more impressive boards, but this deck's cool and it gets style points and I like it, and I'd play it in real life if it was real. We play one of the Emerald and then one of the Trap. You only need one of each in my opinion. And these one-ofs can be added from your grave to your hand. We play one Quick Coily Rather Boy. He is a disruption going second, which is pretty cool, only if you have Mickey Moo. But he's just there for the game shot, like the one-shot mechanic for the true damage that Moo does. True Moo, like the milk. But it's also cool because you can set him up in rotation and bring him back from the grave on your opponent's turn, or you can use the Quick Play spell to summon Mickey Moo from your graveyard, use her effect to summon him from deck, get his effect to book a Moo on your opponent, Bok Bok bounce their monster, Quack Quack pop their monster. This is pretty solid against combo, and the only way you can really deal with back row is literally the Link 2. So this deck has other glaring weaknesses because it can struggle playing into back row. It really can. For the non-engine, I played 2 Fenrir, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Nib, 1 Call by, 1 Thrust, and 1 Talent. It could just be no Thrust and it'd be a 40-card deck, but I really wanted to tech the Thrust because like Thrust playing into boards can equate to engine, so it essentially is like a pseudo starter. And Fenrir is really good because like the Link 2 only requires the Link 3 only requires it requires 2 or more effect monsters including a Pastures, but not like all of them have to. Like I was thinking about making the Link 2 like 1 monster plus 1 a Pastures effect monster, like you only need 1 to make it, but then like too many other decks could tech in like a Baby Moo combo, like, and I didn't want to do that. So the extra deck is 2 Sleepy Sheepies, 1 Trippy Turf Hermit Turtle. These freaking names give me like tongue tied. 2 Hee Hee Ha Ha Dorky Horsey, and I want to say their full name, but I did give them nicknames. Diggy Diggity Dug the Dog, 2 of him. He's like your main. He's part of like every combo line. Like he's the Electromite of the deck. He's the Unchained Lord Yama. Even though Yama in the Unchained deck is more broken than Diggity Dug, and he's a Link 3, I still like him in this deck because he looks cool. He's a dog, and he pops back row twice. So that's the other thing is like I can say these effects are broken, but every time I feel guilty about making a card good, I think about good cards that exist, and I'm like, dang, this deck would still be power crept. And then, me, the one-of Pastures, Farm Boy, Farm Man, Charming Farming Farmer. Like, this guy's crazy. This is, like, the most unique effect this deck has. And arguably, the only oppressive card the deck has is this. Everything else is pretty fair, The theme of this deck is just, again, I'm going to be saying it a lot because, like, I was inspired by Labyrinth when I was building this deck, too. Because I was like, Labyrinth seems so low committal and, like, it gets so much of its cards back. Like, I want a deck to have that similar feeling. We have 1 SP... 1 IP, 1 Appaloosa. You can actually make it turn 1. One access code that you never actually make. This is actually supposed to be Goddess, the underworld goddess girl. You have one Abyss Sweller, one Zeus, and one Typhon. So this is like definitely a flex. Like, I don't know what it should be. I even thought about like putting in like a third link too, but yeah, it's not necessary. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in. This is getting towards the end of the video. I'm just gonna show you guys some combo lines that I created. So I will show you guys the first combo I crafted is Billy Coat by itself. This deck does have one card combos. Speaking of the goat, that's cool. We drew the goat. Alright, so we're just gonna put all these to the bottom of the deck and show you what one Billy Goat does. Alright, so normal Billy. Billy F to add spell. He never really adds trap unless like you already had a way to get the spell off of the rank 2, but I still found myself using the rank 2 to just grab the trap instead. And that's what makes the rank 2 like 2 disruptions in one. Billy Goat's gonna go ahead and grab Pastures. I'm not even gonna close the menu out like for the deck, because you're gonna add Pastures and activate Pastures. What Pastures is gonna do is you're gonna add Quack Quack to hand. You're gonna special summon Quack Quack by targeting the bad Billy. So we're just gonna call him Quack Zack or Zack. Maybe we'll just call him Quack Quack. Yeah, Quack Quack's gonna target Billy. Now he can't be destroyed once this turn. We're gonna link these two off. Where you at? Hee hee ha ha. We're gonna summon Horsey, Horse F to add Baby Moo, and if you do, get an additional normal summon. So we're just gonna add Baby Moo, summon Baby Moo. We're going to declare Baby Moo's effect to add one Pastures monster from your deck to your hand. We're going to go ahead and add the card that like seemingly is like Baby Moo's little brother, which is Oink Boink Boy. We're not going to go in our deck again for a little bit. Oink Boink Boy's effect is going to activate because he was added specifically by Baby Moo. So these two cards were designed with Baby Moo in mind, that they're meant for her. Summon effect. We're gonna target our level 4. Actually, we like to leave the level 4s on field for potential dweller plays, and also so that Dorky Horsey can bounce them back to hand, so Quack Quack can be a disruption on your opponent's turn. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna overlay these two into the rank 2, and we're just gonna move it. Zones don't really matter too much in this deck, but like where you place your cards to play around stuff does matter. On summon F to search. I always grab the quick play over the trap. The quick play just does more than the trap ever could. Like the effect that I use the most off the quick play, in fact the only effect that this card needs to have is just if you control 2 or more special Mickey move from your deck or grave. Everything else, this card could have no other one of those effects and like it would still be so broken. Like all it has to do is summon Mickey Moo. This is a trap card. Like, you set this and summon Mickey Moo on your opponent's turn, you can do stuff. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and link these two off. And we're going to summon Doug the Dog. Doug F. Whoops. And Doug F is going to special summon. So, like, if you have one hand trap and you're playing against the deck, a lot of the times, like, this or this, sometimes it's safe for the link 2, but, like, it's really not, because, like, if you hand trap the link 2, it's unfortunate that any other body, any monster, even an effect veiler, can just turn into Doug the Dog. So, like, if you have hand traps, hold them for either the rank 2 or the link 3, and these both can be ashed anyways. You're going to summon out Mickey Moo from the deck. And then you're going to go Mickey Moo F. She summons out any guy from hand, deck, or grave. What we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and summon out our... I'm trying to remember what we summoned in this line. Quack Quack. And then you're going to link the Doug. So what's also cool about Doug going second is like, if you resolve Doug and summon Mickey Moo and activate her effect, you immediately get to pop a back row. So like Doug's kind of nice going second. He's not Unchained, Soul of Yama, but like He's pretty okay. You're gonna go into Farmer. Since you use Mickey Moo to make Farmer, Farmer gains Mickey Moo's effect. And all you do for this line is get Moo back. But what you can do, which is kind of crazy, is like you can make a Dweller here. You can summon back Quack Quack. But what I like to do is like end on the Mickey Moo a lot of the times. I really do. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna special summon out this guy right here. And this is where things are gonna get a little bit crazy. And this guy's unique effect that prevents your opponent from activating cards or effects as Chain Link 3 or higher in response to your Pastures cards is only while you control Mickey Moo on your field and him. Other than that, he's basically Mickey Moo in battle phase, so he's like a battle. He's like a, I don't want to say battle god, but he's a battle king. He essentially can't be destroyed by battle unless you negate him first. And if he leaves the field, he summons Mickey Moo. So without Mickey Moo, it's a very mid card, but with Mickey Moo, it's a pretty unique card. So this is what your inboard would look like. It's not really that safe to nib at all. I'm just showing you guys like all the non-generic stuff, because like this could be Appaloosa, SP, Little Knight, all kinds of stuff, you know. But I'm showing you guys like Pastures effects. So like this is what Billy Goat gets you. And what happens is like on your opponent's turn, on their draw phase, you can activate Watering Life, and you can just grab this Mickey Moo from Grave. And you can go Mickey Moo F. Oh yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I remember what mistake I made too, but it's okay. You go Mickey Moo F, and you go summon Baby Moo. Baby Moo effect to search. And you grab a Quack Quack. But the combo line's supposed to start with Bok Bok and end with Quack Quack on field for the interaction I was talking about, where like you Bok Bok bounce your Quack Quack. But I think we're actually okay either way, because we ended with Horsey, so Horsey can just literally bounce this to hand, and optionally I can summon another monster. So like you have your main hitters, like you have Mickey Moo up and you have the Link 4. This is like what the deck wants to do. So like your opponent cannot activate cards or effects as Chain Link 3 or higher in response to your Pastures cards activations. You have an Omni Negate because Mickey Moo's up, so this is hot red now, and it pops. In addition to that, you have 2 hand traps. You have a monster pop and a monster belt. So 1, 2, 3 disruptions. Let's not forget this Spelling Grave protects Mickey Moo from destruction once. If you Quack Quack her, she can't be destroyed twice, so you have to kill her 3 times. So it's a really sticky board. If everything dies, your Farmer goes off and summons another Mickey Moo from anywhere. You just summon the same one. And like your follow-up's there, because like in the middle of them playing into your field, you're going to block back your Baby Moo, which is really cool. And you start off even better. And like if you 2020 hindsight, you know you're not going to have follow-up, you don't Quack Quack them, you just block them, you grab Baby Moo, you start your turn off with Baby Moo and an extender, which is cleaner into hand traps. It's safer. It allows you to get to the Link 3 again. So yeah, that's the inboard. It's pretty solid. It's not like crazy. I've thought about making the cards stronger, but I think the way everything functions, this is good enough. Like hand traps and non-engine can do a lot of the rest of the heavy lifting that this deck needs done. So here is Baby Moo. I love that we're just drawing the cards that we're going to be playing with. So here's what Baby Moo does by itself, and then I'll show you guys another 1-card combo. Okay, so normal Baby Moo, Baby Moo F, you add Oink Oink Boy. In your Baby Moo lines, instead of going into the Link 2, which grabs Baby Moo, because you already used Baby Moo, you have to go straight into the rank. Instead of the Link 2, you go straight into the rank 2. So like some of your lines start differently, but the boards can get pretty solid either way. She's Sleepy effect on summon. You're gonna go ahead and add yourself a card. What we're gonna do here, if I remember the line correctly, and so like Baby Moo does stuff like I said, but it's just not like as crazy as you would think it would be. I'm trying to remember. I think we grab Quick Play. No, we grab we grab where's it at? Dang it. I'm trying to remember the card. My bad. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's why. Okay, okay. My bad. Alright, so you grab the herbs and spice. So, like, this is literally what Baby Moo does. Like, Baby Moo gives you, like, 2 disruptions. That's it. You can commit more. So, let's go to bottom of the deck. And you can use this on summon, and you can grab yourself an extender and make the link 2 and, like, search your Moo and, like, you know, get an extra normal summon, which doesn't do much. But, like, this is, like, the safest Baby Moo line. So, like, Baby Moo is not that crazy without an extender. Like, that's what makes her not as strong as a starter. Like, she's okay as a starter as long as you pair her with, like, any other card. So, like, Baby Moo is not as strong as the Billy Goat. Like, and that's another glaring weakness that we gave this deck on purpose. Like, it has a lot of searchers, so I was like, it feels like this deck is like Raid Raptors, but like, what I don't want is for the deck to just literally be able to just like search whatever it wants all the time, every hand. So like, let's restrict what the deck can do without Mickey Moo. Let's restrict even what the deck can do with Mickey Moo, and like, let's restrict like all these one card combos. Like, let's have them have different lines and like different ceilings as well. So like, Billy has the highest ceiling. The second highest ceiling is gonna be this card. So this is another one card combo. And keep in mind, again, you can go Baby Moo and grab one of your level 4 extenders, and you can still do this, right? I'll show you. I'll show you like the other line too, because there's 2 lines. I just felt like ending on the rank 2 is safer because it plays like just better. It plays cleaner than it, but I forgot to show you guys the other Baby Moo line. So you go Baby Moo, grab one of your chicken extenders, or your quack, grab one of your bird extenders. Optionally, when you summon this, you can return one monster you control to the hand. So you go Baby Moo, you go Horsey. Just grab your Baby Moo from graveyard, add it to hand. This plays in a nib harder, and like I don't know. I'm just like, when I have Moo and that's all I have, like I just like to like be conservative. So like, even sometimes off the rank 2, I just grab follow up and I just end on the rank 2 plus whatever else I had. Because if I bricked, I had non-engine obviously. So you add Baby Moo, get your additional normal Baby Moo, take her in Dorky Horsey, and go straight into Doug. Doug F. Doug the dog, and you're going to go ahead and special summon Mickey Moo. This is the most you can get off of Baby Moo, but again, it's not the same ceiling as Billy Goat. That's the thing. What we can do here is we can go into a Billy. I'm sorry, not a Billy. You go into a Mickey Moo. My bad. You're supposed to go into Mickey Moo, and then Mickey Moo into a Billy. That's my fault. And then you go Billy F, and you grab yourself the quick play. And then what you do next is you take these 2. Oh, I'm capping, bro. I'm capping. This line's way better. I've been playing too conservative with my Baby Moos. I just came up with a... Dude, this combo's better than I thought it was. I don't know why. I'm always scared to just like commit with Baby Moo. I'm over here talking about this deck like it's real. This combo's way better. If you're greedy, this combo's way better. Make Farmer. Farmer gains Mickey Moo. You mimic Mickey Moo one more time. And what we'll do to make it even crazier is we'll chain quick play to that. And summon back the Mickey Moo. Wait, it should summon from deck or grave, yeah. So we'll summon her back. And then off of Farmer, who's gaining Mickey Moo's effect, we're going to summon Oink Oink Boy. I'm sleeping on my Baby Moo combo. It's way better. I capped, bro. So now Oink Oink Boy gets 2 back. So we're going to go special summon our bird. And you can even summon the Link 2 and the Link 3, so you could have Spell a Trap Pop, and you can have Dorky Horsey effect about. Oh Lord have mercy. That's broken. That's kind of crazy, bro. That's crazy. Whoo, that's really crazy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Link 3 out though. What we'll do next, we'll go overlay. Where you at? There you go. Overlay. Dang, let me click. I feel like this board's actually crazier. I'm tripping. I'm new. I'm a noob. I'm new to the deck, you guys. I'm new to the deck. This line is better. I've been doing it wrong. I just had my sequencing wrong. She Sleepy Sheepy effect on summon. Grab another. This spell is just everything. It's like the Lifeblood deck. It also gives this deck a glaring weakness to like Ghost Spell, which kind of sucks, but this is kind of crazy. So what we're gonna do next is take those two, link them off into another horsey. Yeah, and then set this. And so you have Double Dug the Dog Pop, you have Floodgate, you have Negate. So that's 2 Interruptions, that's 3 Interruptions. You Watering Life on their turn, summon Mickey Moo. Mickey Moo F. I always just summon Baby Moo. Baby Moo F. View. Grab Bok Bok. You can Dorky Horsey. Back the Baby Moo for follow up. And now that clears the zone for Bok Bok. So now you have Bok Bok bounce. Then the horsey can trigger the duck to pop. So that's 2 spell trap pops. That's 2 disruptions. Bok Bok bounce is 3. The Link 2 is 4 disruptions, which is really solid. It's an Omni Negate. And then you have Floodgate. So I feel like this is better in a way. Because like the other board ends with Quack Quack Zack. Yeah, I feel like this is better. I feel like this is better. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's reset the deck. Okay, and then I'll show you guys another 1-card combo. I'm just trying to see if I can draw it without having to dig in the deck for it. There it is. It's right there. Alright. Put these to the bottom. Alright, here we are. So, you activate Nurturing. Nurturing to search. And essentially, it's the same thing as the Baby Moo. It's the same thing as the Baby Moo line. You can also Nurturing for Billy. And then Billy for the quick play. Use the quick play to search for an extender and go into Link. This essentially is Billy. This combo line is the same as Billy, because like what Billy does when you summon Billy is you use this Billy to search the spell, and then use the spell to add the extender. But instead, you use the spell to search Billy, and you use Billy to add the other spell, the quick play, and you use the watering to search for the extender instead. So if you start with this, you're forced to commit watering on your turn, so it's no longer an extender to play through hand traps. So essentially, it's a worse Billy combo because you burn through both of your spell activations in order to do it. But with the first Billy combo, if you start with just Billy, you don't have to burn your watering. So the same combo that I showed you guys with Billy, the very first combo, is the same inboard if you open this spell. But you can also use this spell to get Baby Moo. And I'm starting to see the light. I think Baby Moo is... It's kind of like Billy almost. I don't know. I still feel like Billy's better because he has more options. But I think Baby Moo is still good enough. Baby Moo for a Bok Bok. A lot of these combos loose the drill, which feels good. Dorky Horsey, add Baby Moo. Normal the Baby Moo, make the Link 3. And this is a 1-card. Every 1-card combo should lose to 1 hand trap. That's only fair. Diggity Dog. I can play a little bit faster since I spent like probably 40 minutes explaining what this deck does to you guys. And now I can talk about them like the real cards. So you go Queen Mickey Moo's effect. Summon out Billy. Billy effect to grab watering. Okay. Link these off. Hello, there we go. link off the Doug and the Queen Mickey Moo into Farming Farmer. Farming Farmer F. Chain Quick Play to his F. Summon back Mickey Moo so that your Piggy can gain the bonus effect while Mickey Moo's up. And Farming Farmer's getting Mickey Moo's effect, and it's going to summon out Oink Boink Boy. Oink Boink Boy effect. Bring back these two. Oink Boink doesn't target. So, very similar. Very similar. I think this time, though, for this line, we are going to... I think we'll do like a Dweller line, though. That's a cool thing, is like Dweller's always an option. You could just bring this back. And yeah, I think still Dog. I think Dog is still correct. And then overlay these two into the rank 2. If you commit to the Dweller line, you do lose like that follow-up interaction of like doing the Mickey move, but like if Dweller wins you the game, then Dweller wins you the game. Because essentially what you do is you summon rank 2, search for the other bird extender, summon it, and then make Dweller. But I'm going to keep my boards as pure as possible. I know I can SP, I know I can IP, I know I can make Appaloosa, but I'm just showing all Pastures cards just to show off the Pastures deck in its purest form. So we're going to go effect, grab another, just this card is so broken. Like, I'm only choosing the trap if I already have this. This is the lifeblood of like every combo line, this quick play. It's disgusting. I love this card. The only this is the same inboard. The difference is, though, since you start off with a spell, Mickey Moo can't be destroyed once. So it is like the Dingirsu, so to speak, one time for Mickey Moo. What we'll do next is we'll take this and this, and we'll link off into another Dorky Horsey. Or not. We can summon IP too. That's the cool thing. Like, it's just, yeah. I know this deck can summon way more generic stuff, but I'm gonna keep it pure. Summon Dorky Horsey. Set. Same exact thing. You're gonna get on your opponent's turns, summon the Mickey Moo. Mickey Moo F, summon the Baby Moo. Baby Moo F to search for another bird to hand. Dorky Horsey to hand. You could do this in draw phase, play around talents if you want. Which again, this line still loses to Bell. So I think Ghost Bell is strong against this deck too, as long as like this quick play is like the lifeblood, like for the interactions on your opponent's turn. You could search Trap instead, because like what this quick play does is it allows you to summon Mickey Moo again, but like if you search the trap, then you don't link the Mickey Moo and the bird off into another link too. Instead, you just leave the Mickey Moo up, and then you take the link 3, and instead of summoning the link 3, you summon the level 2 bird, the other level, what's it called? Where are you at? Yeah, the link 2 instead, the link 2 from the grave. So you don't end on Doug. Instead, your inboard would be link 2 plus Mickey Moo, if you're playing around Bell, because you're only linking Mickey Moo off because you know you can bring it back. If not, you're not doing that because you want this card to stay on field. So Mickey Moo, summon out the Baby Moo, search Bok Bok, Dorky, bounce it, +2, clean. So you have bounce, you have double spell or trap pop, you have your Sleepy Sheepy negate, and you have your Floodgate. Very similar, really solid follow-up, really incredible deck if you ask me. That's going to be it for this video. I think I've done a lot of coverage. I'm going to get some duels with this deck, but it's hard to find duels with custom cards. And, like, the thing is, you're going to duel against people with custom decks, and, like, they're going to have crazy cards that says, like, when this card's summoned, you win the duel. When this card resolves, draw 10. Like, these people doing custom cards are just not making real decks. They're making, like, overpowered God mode that you can't lose. There's no point in even trying decks. Like, they're not trying to make the decks comparable to modern Yu-Gi-Oh decks. That's why it's hard to get duels with custom cards. But as my viewers and subscribers and homies, if you guys make custom cards and you can keep them balanced and make them realistic, I would love to have custom duels. I would love to play my Pastures deck against you guys. Let me know how you feel and what you think in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. Have a beautiful night. Make good choices. I'll be seeing y'all later. Peace.